Hello friends, welcome to Book Bites. Today we'll talk about book No Drama Discipline by Daniel J. Siegel and Tina Payne Bryson is a revolutionary guide to disciplining children with compassion, understanding, and science-backed strategies. The book introduces a new approach to parenting that moves away from punitive measures and focuses instead on connection, empathy, and brain development. The title itself captures the essence of the book, Discipline Without Drama. Siegel and Bryson explain that discipline is not about punishment or control, but about teaching children in ways that help them grow emotionally, socially, and intellectually. This approach hinges on the importance of connecting with your child during moments of discipline and using those moments to help them understand their emotions and behaviors in a healthy way. At the heart of No Drama Discipline is the idea that the brain's development plays a crucial role in a child's behavior, and understanding how the brain works can help parents respond more effectively to their child's actions. The book emphasizes the significance of calmness, self-regulation, and connection when managing a child's behavior. The authors stress that discipline is an ongoing learning process for both parents and children, and it's essential to stay engaged, thoughtful, and consistent. The authors also highlight the importance of parent-child relationships. Rather than focusing on traditional disciplinary methods like yelling or timeouts, they encourage parents to create a safe, supportive environment where kids feel understood and guided. By fostering such an environment, parents can help their children develop emotional intelligence, resilience, and the ability to make better decisions. Siegel and Bryson use research on brain development to explain why children often act impulsively or emotionally, and they provide practical, actionable tools for parents to navigate these moments without resorting to stress or punishment. No Drama Discipline is a comprehensive, empathetic guide to raising emotionally intelligent children who can handle challenges in a calm, constructive manner. It is a blueprint for changing the traditional approach to discipline in favor of a more thoughtful and effective one. Let's explore the concepts of the book, breaking them down point by point and refining the explanation to ensure clarity and precision. Point 1. Redefining discipline from punishment to teaching. The first foundational concept in No Drama Discipline is the redefinition of what discipline truly means. Traditionally, discipline is equated with punishment, timeouts, scolding, taking away privileges, or other reactive strategies. However, Siegel and Bryson challenge this notion by explaining that the original meaning of the word discipline is to teach. This shift in perspective is essential because it reframes discipline not as a method to control or hurt, but as a tool to educate and build understanding in children. When children misbehave, they are often communicating that they are overwhelmed, emotionally confused, or unable to regulate themselves. Instead of seeing misbehavior as an act of defiance, parents are encouraged to view it as an opportunity for guidance. The goal then is not to make children suffer for their mistakes, but to help them learn from those experiences so they can do better in the future. This teaching-based approach involves two main steps: connection and redirection. First, the parent connects emotionally with the child to calm the situation. Only after the child is regulated and receptive can the parent guide them toward better behavior. This is in contrast to traditional methods where punishment is delivered immediately, often while both the parent and child are still emotionally charged. The authors emphasize that children learn best when they feel safe and connected. Harsh discipline might stop the behavior temporarily, but it often damages the relationship and doesn't help the child learn the right lesson. Instead, by responding with empathy and curiosity, what is my child trying to tell me through this behavior, parents can foster trust and emotional development. This shift from control to connection doesn't mean being permissive. Instead, it means being firm but kind, offering structure and expectations while still being emotionally available. In this model, the child experiences discipline as support and guidance, not shame or fear. This understanding lays the groundwork for all the other principles in the book and is crucial to building emotionally intelligent, resilient children. Point 2. The brain behind behavior: understanding a child's neurobiology. A central idea in No Drama Discipline is that effective parenting requires an understanding of how a child's brain works. Daniel Siegel, a neuropsychiatrist, explains that the brain is a work in progress, especially during childhood. This insight is key to understanding why children often act out, struggle with impulse control, or react in intense emotional ways. They are literally not yet wired for self-regulation. The book introduces the concept of the upstairs brain and the downstairs brain. The downstairs brain controls basic functions, impulses, and strong emotions like fear and anger. It's reactive and fully developed at birth. The upstairs brain, responsible for reasoning, empathy, problem solving, and self-control, develops slowly and isn't fully formed until the mid-20s. When a child is having a meltdown, it's usually the downstairs brain taking over. Logical reasoning in that moment is nearly impossible because the upstairs brain has gone offline. This understanding shifts how parents should respond. If a child is acting out, it's not helpful to expect mature reasoning or immediate compliance. Instead of asking what's wrong with you, the question becomes, what's happening in your brain right now? This reframing encourages empathy and patience. Knowing this, discipline should be timed appropriately. When a child is emotionally overwhelmed, the first step should be connection, calming their nervous system and making them feel safe. Once the child is calm, parents can engage the upstairs brain by discussing what happened, exploring feelings, and guiding the child toward better decisions next time. This brain-based perspective also helps parents to regulate themselves. When parents understand that their child's misbehavior is not personal, but a result of brain development, it becomes easier to stay calm and respond with intention rather than anger. By integrating neuroscience into parenting, Siegel and Bryson help parents make sense of their children's behavior, reduce power struggles, and create a supportive environment for emotional and behavioral growth. Understanding the brain gives parents a roadmap to respond more wisely and compassionately, setting the stage for effective and lasting discipline. Point 3. Connection first, the power of emotional bonding. One of the most important principles in no-drama discipline is the idea that discipline should begin with connection, not correction. Rather than reacting with punishment or stern lectures, the authors emphasize connecting with the child emotionally to calm their nervous system and open the door to learning and cooperation. When a child misbehaves, they are often overwhelmed by emotions and operating from the downstairs brain, which is reactive and not capable of logical thinking in that moment. If a parent responds with yelling, threats, or cold detachment, it only intensifies the stress and shuts down the possibility of learning. But if the parent connects by offering comfort, empathy, and understanding, it activates the child's upstairs brain, which is responsible for problem solving, self-awareness, and moral reasoning. Connection doesn't mean letting the child get away with bad behavior. Instead, it's about creating a safe emotional environment where the child feels seen and supported. A connected child is more likely to listen, cooperate, and reflect on their actions. For instance, if a child throws a tantrum because they can't have a toy, the parent can first validate the child's feelings by saying, "I see you're really upset. It's hard when you want something and can't have it." This kind of response helps calm the child down, allowing space for later conversations about appropriate behavior. The book also encourages parents to pay attention to their own emotional state. A calm and emotionally regulated parent is more likely to foster connection and guide their child effectively. Parents are reminded that discipline is not a moment of battle, but a teaching opportunity rooted in relationship and trust. Moreover, the authors argue that consistent connection strengthens the parent-child bond, creating a solid foundation for future discipline. Children who feel securely attached are more likely to internalize values, make good choices, and come to their parents for guidance. Ultimately, connection before correction reframes discipline from something punitive to something nurturing and educational. It teaches children not just what not to do, but also helps them understand why and what to do instead, building emotional intelligence and a sense of security along the way. Point 4. Discipline as teaching, not punishment. A cornerstone of no-drama discipline is redefining discipline not as punishment, but as an opportunity to teach. The authors argue that many parents conflate discipline with punitive actions, timeouts, yelling, grounding, or spanking, but these methods often fail to teach children why their behavior was wrong or what they should do differently. True discipline, they emphasize, is about helping children learn, grow, and make better choices in the future. This teaching-centered approach focuses on long-term development rather than short-term obedience. The authors encourage parents to view each challenging moment as a chance to build their child's decision-making skills, empathy, and self-control. This involves engaging the upstairs brain, which is responsible for logic, morality, and reflection. But to do this effectively, the child must first be calm and feel emotionally safe, hence the importance of first connecting before correcting. Instead of asking, "How do I punish this behavior?" the authors suggest asking, "What does my child need to learn, and how can I best teach that right now?" This subtle shift in mindset leads to more thoughtful responses. For instance, if a child hits their sibling, instead of immediately sending them to their room, a parent might help them calm down, then guide them through understanding why the behavior was hurtful, and finally work together on better ways to express frustration. The book also highlights the idea that children's misbehavior often comes from unmet needs, lack of skills, or overwhelming emotions, not from malicious intent. Recognizing this helps parents respond with empathy and problem solving rather than anger and punishment. For example, a toddler throwing a toy isn't trying to be bad, they may simply lack the words or emotional regulation to express their feelings. The teaching approach involves modeling appropriate behavior and giving the child tools to handle future situations more constructively. This perspective doesn't mean ignoring boundaries or letting kids do whatever they want. On the contrary, it reinforces the idea that discipline requires consistency and clear expectations. However, it does mean that the method of discipline is focused on building the brain, not shutting it down. By treating discipline as teaching, parents raise children who are more emotionally intelligent, respectful, and responsible not because they fear punishment, but because they understand and value good behavior. Point 5. Connection before correction. One of the most powerful principles in no drama discipline is the idea of connection before correction. This means that before attempting to correct a child's behavior, a parent should first connect with the child emotionally. When children feel understood, supported, and emotionally safe, they are more open to listening, learning, and cooperating. The authors stress that misbehavior often comes from a place of emotional distress, fear, frustration, hunger, or fatigue. In these moments, the logical reasoning part of the brain, the upstairs brain, is not in charge. Instead, the reactive downstairs brain takes over. Trying to reason with a child who's emotionally overwhelmed often leads to power struggles or further outbursts. That's why connection must come first. It helps the child calm down and re-engage their thinking brain. Connection can take many forms: a soft tone, a reassuring touch, empathetic words, or simply sitting beside the child quietly. For example, if a child is throwing a tantrum because they can't have more screen time, instead of immediately scolding or punishing, a parent might say, "I know you're really upset. It's hard when we have to stop something fun." This shows empathy and validates the child's feelings, even if the behavior isn't acceptable. Once the child feels understood and calmer, the parent can then guide them toward better choices. This might involve discussing why the behavior wasn't appropriate, setting limits, or brainstorming together how to handle similar situations in the future. The key is that the child is now in a mental and emotional state where learning can actually occur. This approach doesn't mean avoiding discipline or being permissive. It's about being firm and kind at the same time, what the authors call authoritative parenting. It combines high expectations with emotional warmth. Children learn that their feelings matter, and that while they can't always get what they want, they will always be heard and supported. Ultimately, connection before correction helps preserve the parent-child relationship, even during challenging moments. It teaches children that discipline is not about shame or control, but about learning and growing with the guidance of someone who loves and respects them. Point 6. The power of the pause. In No Drama Discipline, Siegel and Bryson emphasize the value of taking a pause both for parents and children before responding to misbehavior. This pause serves as a powerful tool to de-escalate tense situations, promote thoughtful responses, and create opportunities for meaningful discipline rather than reactive punishment. When children misbehave, it's natural for parents to feel triggered, angry, or frustrated. However, reacting impulsively by yelling, threatening, or punishing often intensifies the conflict and misses the chance for teaching. The authors encourage parents to take a brief moment to breathe, reflect, and calm their own nervous systems before addressing their child's behavior. This self-regulation is essential because children often mirror the emotional state of the adult. A calm parent models the kind of behavior they want to see. For example, when a child hits a sibling, the initial urge might be to shout or scold. But a short pause allows the parent to consider why the behavior occurred. Maybe the child was feeling jealous, overwhelmed, or unable to express emotions. By pausing, the parent can then approach the situation with curiosity and compassion rather than judgment. The pause also gives children space to calm down. Instead of immediately punishing or lecturing a child in the middle of a meltdown, allowing a few moments for the storm to pass can create a more receptive environment. Once both parent and child are in a calmer state, they can engage in meaningful dialogue, connection, and problem solving. Additionally, the authors highlight that discipline isn't urgent. There's almost always time to think and respond more wisely. Discipline should be about teaching, and teaching is more effective when both the teacher, parent, and student-child are emotionally regulated. By integrating the power of the pause into daily parenting, adults model emotional intelligence and equip children with the tools to manage their own strong emotions. This practice not only reduces conflict but also builds a child's capacity for self-control, empathy, and resilience over time. In essence, the pause is a small act that leads to big changes. It shifts discipline from reaction to reflection, allowing families to move from chaos to connection and from punishment to purposeful learning. Point 7. Discipline is about teaching, not punishing. One of the central themes of no drama discipline is the idea that discipline should not be about punishing children, but about teaching them valuable life skills. The word discipline itself originates from the Latin word disciplina, which means teaching or learning, not punishment. Siegel and Bryson stress that effective discipline focuses on helping children understand their behavior, guiding them toward better choices and equipping them with the tools they need to thrive emotionally and socially. Punishment often stops a behavior in the short term, but it doesn't teach a child why that behavior was wrong or what they can do differently next time. For example, sending a child to time out for yelling doesn't address the underlying emotion, causing the outburst perhaps frustration, sadness, or a sense of powerlessness. Without understanding and support, the behavior is likely to repeat. In contrast, teaching through discipline means identifying the lesson the child needs to learn. If a child grabs toys from others, the lesson might be about empathy, patience, or communication. Parents can use the moment as an opportunity to talk about feelings, explain the impact of actions on others, and model better ways to express needs. This approach also includes helping children repair the harm they've caused. If they break something or hurt someone's feelings, encouraging them to apologize or make amends teaches responsibility and kindness, rather than just fear of punishment. A teaching-based approach to discipline also encourages problem solving. Instead of simply saying "don't do that," parents can ask, "what could you do differently next time?" This not only fosters critical thinking, but also empowers children to manage their own behavior. Additionally, when children feel that discipline is fair and rooted in care, not control, they are more likely to cooperate, listen, and internalize the values being taught. They don't obey out of fear, but because they understand the importance of their actions and choices. Ultimately, teaching through discipline builds emotional intelligence, trust, and resilience. It transforms moments of misbehavior into opportunities for growth. By focusing on connection and instruction rather than punishment, parents help children develop self-awareness, compassion, and the ability to navigate the world with confidence and integrity. Point 8. The importance of connection before correction. One of the most powerful and transformative ideas in no drama discipline is the principle of connect before you correct. This means that before jumping into correcting a child's behavior, a parent should first build emotional connection. Connection isn't about condoning bad behavior, it's about creating a supportive emotional space where a child feels understood, safe, and open to learning. When children misbehave, they are often operating from a place of emotional overwhelm. Their logical thinking may be offline, and their behavior is usually a reflection of unmet needs, stress, or developmental immaturity. In these moments, scolding or correcting immediately can trigger defensiveness, shame, or fear. Instead, connecting first through empathy and understanding calms the nervous system and lays the groundwork for effective communication. Connection can be as simple as getting down to the child's eye level, using a soft voice, validating their feelings, or offering a comforting touch. For instance, if a child throws a toy out of frustration, a parent might say, "It looks like you're really upset. I'm here. Let's figure this out together." This moment of attunement helps the child feel seen and supported, and it activates the parts of the brain needed for reflection and problem solving. After emotional connection is established, correction becomes more effective. The child is now more receptive to learning and less reactive. The parent can guide them toward better choices, explain the consequences of their actions, and discuss more appropriate ways to handle similar situations in the future. This approach also strengthens the parent-child bond. It teaches children that their emotions are valid and manageable, and that mistakes are opportunities to grow, not reasons to be shamed or isolated. Over time, children learn to pause, self-regulate, and reflect on their action skills that are foundational for emotional intelligence. Moreover, when parents consistently connect before correcting, they model emotional regulation, empathy, and respectful communication. Children learn these values not just by what they are told, but by how they are treated. This nurtures trust, respect, and cooperation in the relationship. In summary, connection before correction turns discipline into a relationship-building experience. It ensures that guidance is grounded in compassion and that behavioral changes come from understanding rather than fear, laying the foundation for lifelong learning and emotional resilience. Point 9. Addressing the root cause, not just the behavior. In No Drama Discipline, the authors emphasize a critical yet often overlooked aspect of parenting. Instead of merely reacting to surface-level behavior, parents should dig deeper to understand the root cause behind the child's actions. This shift in mindset helps move discipline from a reactive state to a more thoughtful and effective strategy that supports long-term growth. Children's misbehavior often acts as a signal, like a red warning light on a dashboard, that something deeper is going on emotionally, developmentally, or physically. For example, a child who throws a tantrum might not simply be bad or defiant, but could be hungry, tired, overstimulated, anxious, or struggling to express complex emotions. If a parent responds only to the external behavior, they may miss the opportunity to meet a genuine need or help the child develop emotional insight. This approach requires parents to be detectives and ask themselves questions like, "Why is my child acting this way?" or "What is this behavior really telling me?" This reflection helps shift the focus from punishment to problem solving. Instead of using timeouts or scolding, a parent might explore what triggered the meltdown and help the child name their feelings or find better ways to cope. For instance, if a child hits their sibling, instead of jumping directly to punishment, a parent could say, "It looks like something upset you. Can you tell me what happened?" From there, the parent can guide the child to understand their feelings and teach them alternative ways to express frustration, like using words, walking away, or asking for help. Addressing the root cause also means understanding that children are still developing the brain structures responsible for impulse control, empathy, and reasoning. When parents recognize this, they become more patient and intentional. They understand that discipline is not about forcing immediate obedience, but about helping kids build internal tools for future decision-making. Moreover, this mindset teaches children that their emotions matter and that their parents are allies, not adversaries. It fosters a sense of trust and safety, which encourages openness and cooperation. Over time, children learn to reflect on their own behavior, becoming more self-aware and capable of managing themselves without external control. Ultimately, addressing the root cause helps build emotionally intelligent children who are not only well-behaved, but also understand themselves and the world around them. Point 10. The ultimate goal of discipline: building skills and strengthening the relationship. The final and perhaps most essential concept in No Drama Discipline is understanding the ultimate goal of discipline. It's not about gaining control or enforcing obedience, but about teaching skills and deepening the parent-child relationship. When discipline is seen through this lens, it transforms from a moment of conflict to an opportunity for growth, connection, and guidance. Traditional views of discipline often focus on behavior correction through punishment, with the assumption that fear or consequences will lead to better behavior. However, the authors argue that real, lasting behavioral change happens when children learn, not when they are coerced. The most meaningful discipline moments are those that help children develop internal tools such as emotional regulation, empathy, problem solving, impulse control, and responsibility. When parents discipline with the goal of teaching, they approach challenges with curiosity, empathy, and patience. Instead of yelling or threatening, they pause, reflect, and use the moment to model calm responses. They involve the child in conversations about what went wrong and what could be done differently. These moments become powerful life lessons that children carry with them into adulthood. Just as important as teaching is the opportunity discipline provides to strengthen the relationship between parent and child. Each challenge offers a chance to show love, respect, and understanding even in moments of conflict. When parents stay emotionally available and attuned during discipline, children feel seen and safe. They learn that they are loved even when they make mistakes, and this security forms the foundation of healthy attachment and emotional development. This approach also empowers children. Rather than feeling shamed or afraid, they feel respected and capable of change. When they understand the reasons behind rules and have a voice in the conversation, they are more likely to internalize the values being taught. Discipline becomes a collaborative process where both parent and child grow together. In the long run, this method doesn't just prevent future misbehavior, it shapes children into emotionally intelligent, resilient, and connected human beings. Parents become not just authority figures but trusted guides. And discipline, instead of being a dreaded part of parenting, becomes a bridge linking love with learning and correction with compassion. Ultimately, No Drama Discipline teaches that how we respond to misbehavior matters immensely. It's a choice between instilling fear or building wisdom, and the authors make a compelling case for choosing the latter. Conclusion. No Drama Discipline offers a transformative approach to parenting, one that shifts the focus from punitive measures to teaching, connection, and emotional growth. The book emphasizes that discipline is not about punishment, but rather an opportunity to foster important life skills in children. By understanding the emotional and neurological processes behind misbehavior, parents are equipped to respond in a way that is both nurturing and effective. The core philosophy of the book revolves around creating a calm, compassionate, and insightful approach to discipline. The authors advocate for the importance of staying connected with children, even in moments of stress or frustration, and using these moments to teach self-regulation, empathy, and problem-solving skills. By acknowledging and understanding a child's emotions, parents can guide them toward better choices without the need for shaming or fear-based tactics. This method not only fosters emotional intelligence in children, but also strengthens the parent-child relationship. It transforms discipline into a collaborative process where children feel respected, heard, and empowered. They learn that their emotions are valid, and they are supported in learning how to manage them. Through this supportive approach, children are more likely to internalize the lessons being taught, leading to lasting behavioral change and emotional resilience. The book emphasizes that the ultimate goal of discipline is to build skills and create a strong emotional bond with the child. By shifting from a control-based mindset to a teaching-based one, parents can nurture their child's emotional development, helping them navigate life's challenges with wisdom, resilience, and empathy. This not only leads to more harmonious family dynamics, but also prepares children to become emotionally intelligent and responsible adults. In conclusion, No Drama Discipline is a guide that helps parents move away from traditional fear-based methods of discipline and toward a more mindful, compassionate, and effective approach. It challenges the conventional wisdom of parenting, encouraging parents to see discipline as a moment of growth rather than a battle for control. By embracing this model, parents can foster a home environment that is not only more peaceful but also one that nurtures strong, capable, and emotionally healthy children.